Hello students, in this class we are going to deal regarding the economic importance of bacteria, where these bacteria are used in the form of economic for the beneficial, for human beneficial, that is in the form of economic importance of bacteria. We utilize these bacteria, that is the many bacteria, for welfare of the human, that we will see in this class. Here this comes the economic importance. Here the bacteria play important role in different fields such as agriculture, industry, etc. Some of them are mentioned below. Here I brought up you the examples those frequently we use in our day-to-day life, that is in the agriculture and the industry. In these sectors we use most of the bacteria for the beneficial use. Here, that is in the first case, the role in agriculture, the bacteria that we use in agriculture. First one we use it to act as the scavenging role. Sometimes these bacteria is also called the scavengers. What happens here? Here the saprophytic bacteria that obtain food from organic remains such as animal excreta, fallen leaves and the meat, etc. What happens here? This scavenging rule means the complex molecules or the complex substance, those are made as a simpler form. This is in scavenging rule form. They composes these substances by the action of the digestive enzymes, that is aerobitically or anaerobitically. Here both the presence of oxygen as well as in the absence of the oxygen. If it's absence of the oxygen, we call it as the fermentation process. In these form, the complex substances are termed to be a simpler one. Next, they help in sanitation of nature. Therefore, these are also known as the scavengers. Example for these is Pseudomonas. Most of the Pseudomonas which act as the scavengers, means which cleans the nature, the complex nitrogen form that is decomposed by these scavengers. Here next comes the nitrification. As we know, the nitrification process where the rhizobium bacteria living in root nodules of the leguminous plant, which is in symbiotic relationship, helps in fixing the atmospheric nitrogen. Here atmospheric nitrogen is fixed by these rhizobium bacteria, because this nitrogen is freely present in the atmosphere, that has to be fixed in the root of the nodule of the leguminous plants. Here similarly, the Nitromonas and the Nitrococcus convert ammonium salt to the nitrites. Here as we know the process, first nitrate to nitrite, nitrite to the ammonium. The conversion takes place in the nitrification and the ammonification, because these roots do not absorb the complex ions, the complex molecules. They required in the simpler form. Here the nitrate that convert to nitrite, that nitrite again convert to the ammonium ions. That ammonium ion that is absorbed by the root with the help of root hair. Here, the nitrates are further changed to the nitrates by the Nitrobacter and the Nitrocytis. These are the bacteria, those are taking participation in nitrification, where it enables the plants to uptake the nitrogen. Here, the nitrogen is taken in the form of the ions. That is in the case of the nitrification. Next comes the production of the organic manure. Here, as we stated above, here the production of the organic manure, that is by the saprophytic bacteria, help in breaking of complex organic substances to the similar forms. Here in this process, they help to convert farm refuse, dung and the other wastes to the manure. Here we will get the many of the wastes from the farms or from the agricultural lands and the dung, that is the cow dung and the buffalo dung by the animal husbandry sector, that those all are converted to the simpler form, that is in the production of the organic manure, which we use it as the organic manure to the land, to the agriculture land, because those are rich in NPK, that is nitrogen, phosphorus, which are required for the plants to grow, that is in the production of the organic manure. Next, in the preparation of ensilage. Here, what this ensilage means, this is nothing but the process of storing and the fermenting the green fodder in a silo. This is the process. Ensilage is the process of the storing and the fermenting the green fodder in a silo. Again, what is this silo? This silo is a structure for storing the bulk materials are used in agriculture, which to store the grains or the fermented fed, which is known as the silage. See, this is the structure of the silo where this ensilage process takes place. Here, the ensilage is preserved cattle fodder prepared by packing fresh chopped fodder sprinkled with molasses. Again here the bacterial action takes place, that is molasses. Next, the fermentation activity of bacteria produces lactic acid. Here what we get the outcome? We get the lactic acid that acts as the preservative in ensilage. To preserve this ensilage, what is required? We require the lactic acid. How it is formed? Lactic acid is formed in ensilage by the action of the bacteria. This is in the preparation of ensilage. Next comes the production of fuel. We use bacteria in the production of fuel. How? The bacteria, while converting animal dung and the other organic waste to manure, help in the production of fuel. This is the best example for this production of fuel is methane gas. We use in methane gas, where we convert this animal dung and the other organic waste materials to the methane gas. The byproduct is methane gas, where it undergoes the action of these bacteria, that is anaerobic respiration takes place in gobar gas production. Here the gobar gas plant is an example of this process, that is the production of fuel. We get the gas as a byproduct by using the waste materials such as the cow dung and the other organic waste that we found in the agriculture field. Next, the disposal of the sewage. The bacteria help in disposal of sewage by decomposing it and thus help in environmental sanitization. Here again these bacteria helps to keep clean the environment by its action, that is the breaking of the complex to the simpler one, making to decompose in the nature. This is in disposal of the sewage. Next comes the role of bacteria in industry. In industries, where you use these bacteria. The first one is the dairy industry. This is the most important one which we see in our day-to-day life, that is the dairy products, where we use the n number of bacteria to get such outcomes. Here, bacteria such as Streptococcus lacetus, which convert milk sugar lactose into the lactic acid and coagulate casein. Casein, that is the milk protein. The protein present in the milk, that is called as the casein. Here what happens here in dairy industry, the bacteria which is Streptococcus lacetus, this convert the sugar lactose into the lactic acid. This lactic acid which again coagulates the casein, the milk protein. Next, The milk is converted into curd, yogurt, cheese, etc. needed for the industry. This converted product, again those are modified in the form of the curd, yogurt, cheese, etc. The important is the bacteria present for this processing, that is use of bacteria in dairy industry. Next comes the production of organic compounds. Here, how these organic compounds are produced? Mainly these are produced by the help of fermentation process. What is this fermentation process? This is the breakdown of the carbohydrate that is in absence of oxygen. Fermentation means the breakdown of the carbohydrate in the absence of oxygen. That is anaerobic process of the respiration, nothing but the fermentation. Here, the process of various bacteria produces organic compounds like the lactic acid. How the lactic acid is formed? This is formed by the action of the bacteria called lactobacillus. Lactobacillus helps to form the lactic acid. Next, the acetic acid. How acetic acid is formed? With the help of the bacteria, that is the Acetobacter aceti. This is the bacteria, the Acetobacter aceti, which gives the acetic acid. Next comes the formation of the acetone. How acetone is formed? This is by the action of Clostridium acetobacillus. This is the bacteria which converts the or which forms the acetone, that is the organic compounds. These are the bacteria which are used in the production of the organic compounds. Next comes the fiber rating. What is this fiber rating? Here the flax fibers, that is the bulk fibers which can be separated from one other, that is which are attached to the stem, those are separated. This separation process is called the fiber rating. Here where we use this fiber rating, most we use in textile industry. We use in textile industry which act as the raw material for the textile. Here the rating is the first extraction process to obtain the high quality fibers. Here with the help of the rating fiber we get the high quality fibers. Fibers are obtained from fiber rating. Here we have the two types of rating, that is the dew rating and the water rating. Most we use the bacteria in water rating. Here these bundles of the stems, those are soaked in water. With the help of action of the bacteria, they start decomposing the pectin material present in the stem. Once it is decomposed, these fibers get loosely and they come out from the stem, where this is the how we get the fibers. Here the action of some bacteria such as the Clostridium and the Pseudomonas, these are the bacteria which acting on the decomposition of the pectin substances present in the stem. Next, help in fiber rating, that is the separation of the stem and the leaf fiber of the plants from other soft tissues. Here we remove these all soft tissues by the action of the decomposition. Only we get the fibers which are made up of the truly sclerenchyma cells. Those are the dead mechanical tissues, sclerenchyma. Only we get only the sclerenchyma tissues in the form of the fibers. This is in fiber rating process. Next, curing. Here the leaves of the tea and tobacco, beans of coffee and the cocoa are cured of their bitterness with the help of action of certain bacteria such as the Bacillus megatherium. This is the bacteria which involved in the curing. Here curing is the process where the leaves of the tea and the tobacco and the beans of coffee, that is the coffee beans, here they are used to give the color or the aroma for the tea or the tobacco or the coffee. Most it gives the coloration. that is with the help of the Bacillus megatherium, that is the curing process. This we use in the production of tea powder and the coffee powder. Next comes the production of the antibiotics. Here, the number of antibacterial and the antifungal antibiotics such as hemicin, polymyxin, thiomycin, etc. are obtained from mycelia bacteria like the streptomyces. Most of these hemicin, polymyxin, trichomyxin, these are obtained by the bacteria which is called the mycelia. Mycelia, that is the bacteria which belongs to the streptomyces. Here, similarly, Bacillus is used for the production of antibiotics such as the bacitracin and the gramidacin. These are prepared by the Bacillus bacteria. With the help of the bacteria, we produce the antibiotics. This is in the case of the production of the antibiotics. Here next comes the production of the vitamins. Here the different kinds of vitamins are produced from bacteria such like the riboflavin from Clostridium difficile. Next the vitamin B12 which is obtained by the Bacillus megatherium, and vitamin K and the B complexes which are from the E. coli bacteria. These are the sources. For the riboflavin, the source is the Clostridium difficile. For the vitamin B12, it is obtained by the Bacillus megatherium, and vitamin K and the B complexes which got from the E. coli, that is the Escherichia coli, E. coli. These are the bacteria which are participate in the production of the vitamins. This is regarding the economic use of the bacteria, that is we use in our day-to-day life. As we know, we have the positive impact as well as we get the negative impact of the bacteria. These are comes under the positive forms where those are useful. In next class, we will see the negative effect, that is the disease which are caused by the bacteria in the plants as well as in the human. That we see the side effect of the bacteria in next class. This is for today. Thank you.